wanted to show you today is my brand new full suspension mountain bike. I've been mountain biking since about 2012, and off and on really until the last year. Wasn't getting real serious about it, but I've always ridden a hardtail, and I've always looked at full suspensions and thought, man, why do people spend so much money on those things, and are they really worth it? I don't know the answer to that yet. I'm guessing the answer is yes, but in my case, I knew it was time. I was starting to take on some black diamond, maybe some double black diamond sections on certain trails in my area, and I knew that I needed better equipment, and I knew that I needed confidence in the equipment, and I knew a full suspension bike was probably going to do that for me. So I went out and spent as much as I possibly could and bought the most beautiful, technical, geeky, great mountain bike that I could find. I narrowed it down to a couple different models, and what I ended up settling on was the Trek 2018/9.8. And I probably shouldn't say settled on, because it's actually a pretty awesome bike. It's pretty high-end stuff. I think you can spend more money than that, but I spent as much as I could and got what I thought was the best value and what would give me the most confidence to make me a better rider. So I'm going to go over it and show you all the things I know about it and try to give you as good of an overview as I can. And later today, I'm going to take this thing out for the first time, and I'm going to get my impressions as sort of a advanced beginner, you know, entry-level, intermediate type rider. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm not the most skilled mountain biker for sure, and I don't think that I can give a highly technical review of the equipment and how it handles and reacts. But it's going to be cool to see, I think, what a person like me who's ridden hardtails for years and really doesn't know the difference, what my impressions will be. Maybe a number of people are thinking about making that big jump and that huge financial investment like I just did, and would be interested to see what a beginner's viewpoint is making that big switch. I'm going to take it out today and let it rip, but first I'm going to show you the bike, and then we'll see what you think about it. All right, there it is, just in time for Halloween. Now I got to be honest, this was the only color option available from Trek for 2018 on the /9.8, and I was not sure about it in the pictures. I've had orange vehicles before, a 77 Corvette, and that seems to fit, but I don't know, I wasn't real sure I wanted an orange bike. This is what they call Rorange, so it's kind of a reddish orange, I guess, but to me it just looks like a really nice deep orange, and it has the black two-tone. Let me tell you, in person this thing is impressive. The finish is immaculate. It's beautiful. I can't recommend it anymore if you're into orange in the least bit. I wasn't sure, but I'm glad I made the choice, and I went with the blue race face Atlas pedals, which I always think blue and orange, and of course the fork adjustments here have the blue hardware, so I think that's a great combo color wise. But anyway, this bike's full carbon frame. The main frame's all full carbon. The seat stays are carbon. I believe they told me this linkage material is magnesium, which I suppose is a real strong lightweight material. The only thing alloy on this bike is the chainstay. I guess they do that to keep costs down. I've seen these models before with full carbon, like the Race Shop edition, but this one has the alloy chainstay. I don't really mind that. To me, I think that's probably one of the most likely spots to get bashed by a stump or a rock, and so therefore alloy to me makes good sense. It'll dent and not crack. At any rate, that's the frame. This one's really cool. I geeked out on this technology. It's the Fox reactive through shaft. Well, actually, this is not Fox. This year they did the RockShox version. Apparently, Trek has a deal with, I think, Penske Racing technology for this reactive technology, and then they I guess, sub rock shocks or Fox out to build them for them. And so this is the rock shocks this year, the reactive technology, and it's the through shaft, which is new for 2018, I'm pretty sure. And if you're interested in it, I'd recommend you look it up. I have tried to understand the technology, and I just can't talk about it. I don't have the technical ability, but it seems like a cool concept, and I can't wait to see how it performs for me. On the front, Fox 36 forks, big, beefy, long travel, 160 millimeter. I don't know much about these wheels, the Line 30s. Apparently they're beefed up, rigid, stiff. They have the through spokes, which I think is really neat. If you can look in there and see on the hub, it's a through spoke, which is supposedly much more rigid and strong, which is really good, I think, for a larger rider like myself. I really like these tires. These are the XR4 Experts. They're big, chunky, 2.4, I believe, and they've just got really big, chunky knobs. It just, if nothing else, it just inspires confidence in me. It looks like it'll just stick to anything. Same on the back. One thing I really like about this, they're doing this on a lot of bikes now, the GX Eagle. And there's different trim levels of the Eagle. You can get the XO1, etc., but this one comes with the GX, which I think is kind of an intermediate, a lower intermediate maybe, drivetrain. Of course, it's a 1-by, but I've never seen the Descend cranks. It has those. They seem pretty nice. But anyway, the Eagle to me is real useful. I'm a heavyweight rider. With my Camelback and all my gear, I'm coming in around 255, 260 pounds. So, you know, for me, a granny gear is important. I don't climb well because I am so heavy, it's difficult. And so for me, it's useful. A lot of mountain bikers are smaller, framed, 160, 70 pound guys, and you add 100 pounds to that equation, it's a different ball game. You know, having a football body is not ideal for mountain biking necessarily. I'm not saying you can't do it, but it's not that great for me. This bike also has the carbon handlebar, which is pretty cool to me. The fact that I have a handlebar that's carbon, I just think that's cool. And a dropper seat post. I cannot express how important a dropper seat post is. Being able to raise and lower the seat on demand when you're going down steep technical features, rocks, drop-offs, etc. Getting that thing down and out of the way is so important. It's so crucial. And then being able to jack it way up on the climbs helps too. It seems to put you in a different angle over the handlebars, which makes climbing easier. These bikes aren't designed for climbing. They have the slacker raked out geometry. They're designed to bomb downhill. But those are the kind of rides I like to do. You know, 8, 10, maybe 12-mile loops where I'm really just climbing because I know it's good for me. And then the real fun is bombing down the hill, obviously. So anyway, I have the guide brakes on this one. That's what this one comes with, the SRAM guide. I've heard mixed reviews on them. We'll see. They look and feel better than anything I've ever had. I'm going from about a $2,000 hardtail, the Trek Superfly 7, to this. So, you know, regardless of what's on here, it's way better than anything I've ever had. So I can't really complain, most likely. But I'm going to take this thing out hopefully today. It looks like weather's going to be great. It's nice and cool here in western North Carolina. And I'm going to come back and document, you know, what my impressions are and how I feel like it changed my riding on the first time out, and maybe have an idea of how it's going to improve me in the future. You know, I'm obviously not a super high skilled rider, and so therefore I can't give highly technical review of it, but I think it's neat to get a perspective from someone who's just starting out with a real high-end bike and who's looking to take their skills to the next level. I know one thing's for sure, when I pull up to the trailhead, I'm gonna look much cooler. So anyway, hopefully no one watches me after I pedal down the hill. But anyway, this is my 2018 Trek Slash 9.8, and part 2 will be coming up soon, and we'll see what I thought about it. Alright, see you later.